good afternoon. Nice to have you all here. I'm Anushka Arora and I am a radio presenter, TV presenter, voiceover artist, event host. So I present a 4-hour Bollywood show on Sunrise Radio, which is where I've just come from, when there are a lot of Asian concerts that are happening. So if it's like a Bollywood concert or if a singer is coming from India and they've got a concert at very well-known venues like the Royal Festival Hall, Royal Albert Hall, the O2 Arena, Wembley Arena, I tend to host those. I also do get to cover a lot of the big Bollywood award functions that happen. So Bollywood has something called the IFA Awards, which is the equivalent to the Oscars, and then you get to interview them, etc. And then by the time you finish interviewing them, you're probably way too tired to go and actually watch the award ceremony itself. But it's always quite fun. Now, I think the fact that it's all very glamour, very entertainment, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. So just to kind of let you know that if you do want to go into any form of presenting, whether it be TV presenting or whether it be radio presenting, you need to know and you need to understand that if you want to have a really good show or a really good interview, anybody that you're interviewing, you must do your research. Without any research, it's not going to sound as good, and then you're going to come across as not a good presenter. Whilst I was at university, I had one of my lecturers tell me that, Anushka, if you want to get into radio presenting, what is really well known and what's a really good experience is to do hospital radio to build up your experience and to build up your foundation. So that was a really good thing. So if you do want to get into radio, then I would definitely recommend either hospital radio and or finding out your local community radios. And I'm sure if you have a radio in here as well, you might. So I think towards the end of my 5 years at Sunrise, I think this was about 2012 maybe, I decided to move on to BBC. So I moved on to BBC Asia Network, where I was offered to co-host the Drive Time show. When you work at BBC, you have a whole team of people working on each particular show. I wasn't quite used to having so many people doing things for me, although that sounded quite nice. When I was offered the job, I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. I've got everybody, doing stuff for me. But what I learned at BBC was that when I was at Sunrise, I was doing everything myself. I was a producer of my own radio show. I was a presenter of my own radio show. And when you have that freedom, you don't have to kind of worry about other things. But at BBC, it became quite difficult for me. And there was also a slight bit of bullying that I experienced as well. So I didn't have the best time there, but I learned so much that I don't think I would regret my time there. But what I did do, I enjoyed it, and I did it all to the best of my ability. So yeah, all in all, it's an amazing job to have. I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't think I could ever see myself sitting in an office doing like a 9-to-5 job. It's all about being creative. It's all about working with people. And I think more importantly, it's all about networking and building relationships with what I've learned. It's just such a beautiful industry to be in. And I would highly recommend, if you want to go into radio presenting or TV presenting, you must be really passionate about what you want to do and be really determined, focus. And all in all, it's a really fun job, because I have a lot of people say to me, oh, what do you do? And when I say I'm a radio and a TV presenter, the first thing that they normally say to me is, oh, that must be really fun. And I'm like, yes, it's really fun. This is it. And I just love my work. So yes, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'll be really honest with you, when you start out, it's not at all. It's not a very well-paid job, but if you enjoy it, like you said, you're going to carry on doing it anyway, but you have to work your way up. And once you've worked your way up, then you're comfortable. So no qualms about that. Hollywood is not my forte, unfortunately, because I take a lot of interest in Bollywood. I'm from India. My parents are from India, although I was born and brought up here. I think my parents made it a point to make us still be connected whilst we were little, to be connected to the culture, to our grandparents, to our cousins. So we'd frequently take trips back to India, so that connection was there. I have met him many times.
How was it the first impression?
So I'll tell you, funny thing is, you asked me that question. I, in fact, hosted a event for him. So he was here to promote one of his films, his film was called Chennai Express. So he was here with the actress that was in the film, and I got asked to host a press conference. So I was really excited. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Can't believe it. Shah Rukh Khan's going to be here, and I'm going to actually be the one that is going to be introducing him on stage. So I'm not going to be the one sitting in the audience, but I'm literally going to be standing right next to him. So there is an actor who goes by the name of Ranveer Singh. He's a very, very, very popular actor. He is, I think, the next one after Shah Rukh Khan. And in fact, I make a lot of comparisons between him and Shah Rukh Khan on my show, because I always say Ranveer Singh always comes across that he will give you the time of the day, no matter who it is. Like, I constantly see him get papped. He has crowds and crowds of people around him, but he will take a picture with every single one of his fans. And that's exactly what Shah Rukh Khan does. If an opportunity to be, the lead role in a film from like a good director, I would never say no to it. I would never say no to it. But I think broadcasting is my first love. I don't know how I would leave that. Sunrise, yeah. We can look into that. We can definitely look into that. I will check and I will let Nadia know. Yeah. I think I really enjoyed radio. I did a lot of newspaper writing, online writing. I found that really boring. I was just like, can't do this. But I was quite glad that it was in the module or in the course. So I kind of figured out what I wanted to do. But radio and TV, because I feel like it's it's a very creative, part of journalism. I loved it so much. Do what you love. Do what you want to do for the rest of your life, because you will never have to work a day in your life if you do that. Honestly. I have, yes. I met him recently, just at the tail end of last year. I met him. He was here to promote one of his movies as well. Again, he's an awesome guy. I've grown up watching his films as a kid, really, and he's an amazing guy. They were over the moon. They were really, really happy. Even I was as well. I was really happy. I think, it's a dream for any journalist to be working at such a big, corporation like BBC. I learned a lot. I learned so much there. I wouldn't have it any other way. My time at BBC was really fun, but I think definitely home for me is at Sunrise, for sure. So community radio, contact, like people like myself or journalists, just contact them, message them and just say, do you have any work experience opportunities, any intern opportunities? I get so many messages like that. And I wouldn't say no. If I had the capacity to take all these people on myself, I would do that, because I love just, telling people about my journey and how enjoyable it is. But I would just say, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask. If you want to get into, magazine writing, contact all the magazines. They have work experience programs for you. I think it's probably a touch more easier now because of social media, but when I was studying at university or when I was at school, we didn't have social media. We didn't have, quickly send a message on Instagram or quickly send a message on Twitter or Facebook. It wasn't that quick, but for you guys, it's literally right there. Just don't hesitate to contact anybody. Like, if you want to get into, magazine, if you want to get into radio, if you want to get into newspapers, contact your local newspapers and just say, I'm studying media at college or whatever. I was just wondering if there's any work experience opportunities. you know, just contact them and don't be afraid to ask, because if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's one thing that I've learned. Just ask, what's the worst that can happen? They're going to say no. It doesn't matter. You move on. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.